Diamond Keyway conversation. The only place you gonna get it is the only place you gonna get Big U.
The only place you gonna get it. The only place you gonna get Big U. Where's? Welcome to the Diamond Keyway conversations. Home of the West Coast. And the voice of the culture. It's Duse M the Don. That's the fact. And we right back at you with the content. Damn, I'm over here tripping. I don't got that. Anybody who hasn't subscribed, join us on this road to 10K subs. We need about 600 and something left. You know what I'm saying? 675 or something like that. We need that. Go get that. If you ain't subscribed, hit that like button. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and go on over to YouTube or Twitch, because Instagram's only going to give you an hour of the content. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure that y'all go over there and do that. Bang that like button on your way in. And welcome to the Diamond Keyway Conversations. You know what I'm saying? ActiveChuckss Ent. If you're on Facebook, you should be able to watch the whole thing. Kid the Barber 84. Where's? Renegade Duchess. Salute homegirl John Bankhead. Watching with the popcorn. Oh, you ain't gonna want to miss this one. Mike B115, ActiveChuckss, Kid the Barber 84, Renegade Duchess, John Bankhead. Salute. Bo Monty the Great. What's up with it? What's the deal, Duse M? Salute to the House Diamonds and Keyway Conversations, man. It's Carolina Connect TV 864. Salute to the Blue Rich Mob. Blue Rich Mob always on their job. Salute to the good people, man. So listen, man, CS2 back been running around lying, talking about he beat Worldstar, and he doing a world tour with the bullshit. Like he really like that. The food was ready, babe? Okay. Hey, Levi, move. Let her close the door. Babe, he was snoring on my line. But anyway, that's my nigga, though. He ain't going to be too far. You see me? You gonna see Levi. Tribe of Levi. Hey, ask Scandalous Los Angeles about the Tribe of Levi's. He know about it. And ask Tiny Draws and ask Short Stop in the Field podcast. You know what I'm saying? They know about the Tribe of Levi's. You know what I'm saying? So look, we finna go ahead and get the first video. I know everybody's still over there on the premiere. I had to react to it, man, because I don't think that just the what you call it did justice. Everybody was able to hear the OG from 6-0's exposed crackhead Eddie Boy, Rico the Rat Rod Gay, and Christopher Love Boy, right? And Nutty, even though that wasn't his main intent, right? But he definitely did that. Hey, look, if y'all looking for that, let me turn this to red. I'm set tripping today. It's been on blue, but now naturally red. Red is, hold on, let me turn on some music for y'all too, man. You know what I'm saying? While I go get this, all of this stuff done. You know what I'm saying? Style, brand, color. We gonna turn this red. You know what I'm saying? Bring y'all attention to that cash app at ActiveChuckss. And I told y'all, anybody interested in investing in a virtual reality hip-hop app incorporating AI technology and a lot of other things, tap in. We're doing big things, big moves. You know what I mean? We in the building today. I gotta go get this content, man. Where it was. I think this might be it. Let me see. Maybe I got something for you. Yeah, this is it. PS2 back or more. You know what I'm saying? He going on a world tour right now, telling everybody he beat Worldstarhiphop. Well, we gonna go ahead and let me stop the music. Boom, there it go. If you in the background listening, hit that like button, please. Mike B 115, salute, man. Get on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I can get straight to the content, but we ain't got enough likes. You know what I'm saying? And we know a lot of people gonna be coming from over there anyway. Man, what's going on, man? Okay, we live. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I see I see Renegade Duchess reply. She said she was waiting. You know what I'm saying? Gloves off. Hold on. He said 421 TV. Duse M. You know every song you play counts as a credit play. Play your own songs. Yeah, that is my song. That's what I was playing, bro. That even the intro, that's the song me and Corrupt got. You know what I'm saying? A membership. Yeah, bro. I understand. I teach this, bro. So maybe you should take my courses. Let's go. We got the content. It sounded fake when he said it. And the Golden Knee Pad Award goes to, oh yeah, we gonna be on that too. Let's get to the content, man. I know the good people up in here waiting on that. And Maria
sent it to Worldstar, told
his
them
business partners
this is legit, and said, "Hey, can y'all post
listen
this?"
to this. Lying.
It's Ray Give TV.
Let's get right to it.
Big U basically sent it to Worldstar, told
his
them
business partners.
this is legit, and said, "Hey, can y'all post this?" Apparently, they didn't really feel the need to do any background research into it, and they did release it. They put it on their platform, and then you basically
Tell me, should I sue Adam 22 and Wack100 for defamation? Right? So as it's pertaining directly to my work, my journalistic work, right? We finna go ahead and get right into, we gonna stop that right there and get right into a declaration, a statement that was put together by the plug, Danny at Worldstar. That's Daniel Cotton at Worldstarhiphop.com. That's the plug. Yeah, they like, get them, Deuce. Yeah, we gonna get them. Because I don't like the way that they trying to say they didn't need no reason to look at it. Like there wasn't an extensive process in uploading the content just because they knew Big U. This is a professional multi-million-dollar company that does over 500 million views a month. Imagine that. 500 million views average every single month. And you just think they just upload any content. So here's a declaration of Daniel Cotton. And I'm going to show y'all my connection and Big U connection to Daniel Cotton in support of a special motion to strike plaintiff's complaint. Plaintiff being Cash McElroy Jones, pseudonym known as Wack100, an individual, right? So it filed concurrently with a notice of motion and special motion to strike plaintiff's complaint. Request for judicial notice, declaration of Andrew Wagner Trugman, and declaration of Brooke Noel D. Royes. Those are the two attorneys I spoke with from MediaLab AI, who owns the parent company that owns WorldstarHiphop. Declaration of Daniel Cotton. See, I got to work. You know what I'm saying? Bang that like button before I get into this. You know what I'm saying? Share and tell a friend. Y'all already know that we own, right? Hey, Miss Lisa's house. It sounded fake when he said it. He sound fake half the time he talked. He opened his mouth, it sound fake. And the Golden Knee Pad Award goes to, they like, yep, get him, Deuce. Hell to the air. Yeah, so they trying to say, King Buck Wild, salute, bro. Just trying to look out, not saying you're done, but it is something that not common knowledge. My bad. Yeah, bro, I appreciate the gesture that you're telling me that. For when you good, you just dropping some jewels. Yeah, you dropping some jewels. If you listen to my if you take the course, it's on ActiveChuckss YouTube, right? It's called A Student of Life. So when you subscribe to as a student of life, you have access to the course. Make sure if you do subscribe and pay that fee that you DM me on IG so that I can send you the documents and everything else that goes along with it, right? The whole curriculum. But during the whole thing, you're going to hear that beat I was just playing, the DJ Quick beat, but it's not original DJ Quick beat. It's an original beat, track D, produced for my song Meet Me in the Set, inspired by the old DJ Quick beat, right? So let's get to the content. But I'm playing that the whole time, and I tell people that that's the smartest way to go to continue to do it. I tried to tell Yael that, but I don't think he was too interested in focus on that. Let's go. So from 2009 through April 2024, I was employed as Director of Business Development by Worldstar LLC, which owns and operates Worldstarhiphop. Worldstar, described further below. MediaLab AI Inc., MediaLab or Defendant, which is a party to this action, is a vertically integrated content aggregator enterprise, which owns Worldstar LLC, through which it operates Worldstarhiphop, Worldstar or WSHH, and acquired Worldstar in June 2020. I have personal knowledge of each matter stated herein, and if sworn, I could and would testify competently thereto. My work as Director of Business Development included creating business opportunities for Worldstar through branding and partnership and curation of the Worldstar brand through support of the company-wide content aggregation effort. Based upon my work experience with Worldstarhiphop, I have an understanding of Worldstar's operations, various company policies and procedures, and related matters. In the course of my work, I often receive third-party video content sent to me by various sources for review and submission to the Worldstarhiphop website and the Worldstarhiphop YouTube channel, the website, and the Worldstarhiphop YouTube, respectfully. In January 2024, I received a video submission entitled Wack100 Exposed for being an alleged federal informant documentary. The documentary. I forwarded the documentary to Worldstar editors for review and submission. So he didn't just get it from us and then he could just upload it. There's a procedure that they have to go to. You know what I'm saying? They have certain kind of rules and regulations that they must follow. So a true and correct copy of the documentary as it was provided to Worldstar is attached here too as Exhibit C, which I understand may be lodged with the court in support of Worldstar's motion to strike the complaint. All third-party created video content received by Worldstar is reviewed by Worldstar's editors according to the Worldstarhiphop guidelines, which, to my understanding, are concurrently submitted in support of MediaLab's motion to strike. So the court also has, as part of the evidence, the guidelines that Worldstarhiphop has to follow. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't no willy-nilly just upload something like it's no jumper or YouTube, your YouTube channel. No, there's steps and procedures which it must have to go through before it reaches publication, because as $1 million company, they have to protect their interests, right? So on or before January 27th, 2024, the documentary was reviewed by Worldstar editors according to the guidelines outlined in Exhibit A and was determined to comply with the guidelines. So there's nothing in the documentary that didn't comply with Worldstarhiphop guidelines. On January 27, 2024, the documentary was uploaded to the Worldstarhiphop YouTube. I am not aware of any hostility or animus or malice towards plaintiff on the part of any individual involved in the receipt, review, and posting of the documentary. I declare under penalty of perjury, under the laws of the state of California, that the foregoing is true and correct and is within my personal knowledge. Executed this 9th day of September 2024 in Hong Kong, China. Oh, Danny at Worldstar, Danny Cotton. And there's his signature. Daniel Cotton is Danny at Worldstar. Y'all don't know which Danny at Worldstar is? Well, he moved to China now, so he no longer works for Worldstarhiphop. So let me go ahead and show y'all Dutch in 1 million. Salute. Somebody is on my Instagram said, "What you bang?" Can you believe in 2025 how corny these so-called gangsters is? Hitting a nigga up on why he's live streaming. What sex you claim? My nigga, you cannot be that active. I'm quite sure if you was that active, you know exactly where your ops is. Go ahead and pull up on the block, clock in some hours. I'm quite sure your homies could use you, you know what I'm saying? In some way, fashion, or form, especially if you that goofy, you know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and grab this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and grab this for y'all. Boom. So we could go there. Let's go here. Boom. All right. So let me see what we got. Dropbox. All right, let's see what we got. Convo with Worldstarhiphop. I know what to do. All I got to do is put in Worldstar. Copyright infringement. Boom. So now, since y'all don't know who Daniel Cotton is, I'm going to bang that like button. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll go ahead and grab this for y'all real quick. We're going to get into the chat and see what y'all talk about, dog. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Boom. If y'all see that, that's Kenny Kingpin. It's January 29th. From the checking in at gmail.com. Checking in. Who knows who Checking In podcast was, right? January 6th, it was sent January 6th at 8:31 at night. Subject Wack. And then they sent it to Kenny Kingpin. Begin forward message. Checking in at Gmail. January 6th, 2024, 10:57 in the morning. Danny at Worldstarhiphop. Y'all see that? That's Daniel Cotton. D at Worldstarhiphop. Danny at Worldstarhiphop. And there goes the MP4. That's who we was dealing with. That's the plug at Worldstarhiphop. And he just declared under penalty of perjury that the process was a lot more complex than Wack100 and the Mountaineer was trying to mislead people on to believe. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the old Mountaineer, Adam Grand Mason. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear what other lies he want to say about this document.
Them and said, "Hey, I'm suing you because you posted false information about me."
I did not threaten them.
You just sued them.
Yes.
And then they settled.
Well, they filed they tried to file some paperwork. The judge pretty much said, we need to research this because, see, here goes the thing.
Where's
when
that
you
say?
file a civil suit on somebody, right?
The judge said, We need to research that. Where does it say that the judge says this, that in any motion or paperwork? CS2 back, because I got all of the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got every document sent up to the point where now you guys are saying there's a mutual agreement, a settlement, all the way up to that. Oh, we gonna get Chat GPT to explain how misleading you're being, because all of that is documented public record, which means as soon as you ask Chat GPT about Worldstar and Wack100, and did Wack100 win, they're going to tell you about how misleading he's intentionally being. And the post that they're going to show us is his Instagram. When you come in, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Let's get back to it. So he said, the judge said that. Where did the judge say that? What?
All doors are open.
Meaning you have access to their text, their
You
emails.
get access to everything pertaining to this.
But it's like you get search terms. Like you're able to basically be like, I want to do discovery on Wack100's phone, and I want to see anything containing the word Adam and no jumper.
You get to open the files up to a case, everything. Thorough, full investigation, right? It was crazy because it's a document that says that whoever this dude back and CS2 dude is.
I love to hear him say that. It hurts him so much that I expose this bitch ass. Bang that like button, bro. Let's hear him say that again. You see how he got to swallow and breathe. He hates saying it because he knows it's going to continue to stick because he is confidential source to
document that says that whoever this dude back and CS2 dude is in fear of
June, what up?
Of his family in the main streets. I'm not from main streets. I've never stepped foot in the main streets in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I may have drove down the street, but I've never been in the main streets. And he was a low-level drug dealer, right? I'm not a drug dealer. And if I was a drug dealer, I definitely wouldn't be a low-level one if that's what I chose to do. But they ran their narrative, Big U,
Mark Ramos, salute to Mountaineer.
Right? Went over there with his business partners, and this is what's funny, and got them to do it. They trusted
sticker,
it,
bro.
right? When I filed the suit, they doubled back to him. Hey, send us.
So now they said that they just put it up because they trusted Big U. This is the narrative Wack and the Mountaineer up here pushing. Adam Graham Mason, aka Adam 16. They want y'all to believe that they didn't vet or there's not a process in place that must meet the terms and conditions of Worldstarhiphop's brand. These people are misleading y'all to believing a whole lot of horse shit. Let's go.
He ain't have nothing. Right? So the judge like, hey, put it on the table.
He didn't have nothing.
Right? Ain't nothing there. There's nothing to show that this man is whoever this individual is.
But so this got to the point where it was almost going to go to trial?
Marked out.
Hell yeah. Because at this point in time, when they filed their motion and the judge was like,
they was about to go to trial. I'll show y'all that after this. Let me pull that up for y'all now to show you that the motion that was still in was a motion to dismiss. It was an appeal because initially the anti-slap motion and special motion to dismiss was denied by the court judge. So MediaLab's attorneys appealed it because they felt that the judge ruled incorrectly in regards to the law. In that appeal would have been ruled on, I think the court date was January 2026. They were supposed to have like a status conference or hearing. That's where it was at. It wasn't nowhere near trial. Let me go get it.
No, y'all got to put it on the table.
How much do you think you spent?
Who?
On challenging them? Like, I mean, it costs a lot of money to prepare this kind of legal
I don't
defense.
know, because and this is what I tell people. Look, man, I'm not one of these dudes.
You don't know how much you paid
should
your lawyer.
understand.
Wait a minute. This the nigga that know the age consent for a woman in every state in the United States. This a man that told us he memorized the police squad car number that harassed him in Burbank. He says he does no drugs, and your money comes in. You saying you agreed to settlement, and you don't know how much money you paid your attorney. Y'all want to know why he don't know how much money he paid his attorney? Because he didn't pay his attorney. I believe the feds paid that and hired that attorney so that they could get him up off of this bullshit, find a way to settle this behind closed doors so he wouldn't be fully exposed to CS2 back. But I got a rude awakening for you back. Let's get to it.
And this, well, I don't know how you do yours. My attorneys stay on continuous retainer. So I'm, I don't really get bills like that because it's a continuous thing that just goes to them.
But what the f are your lawyers doing the rest of the time? Because I'm not like
it doesn't matter. But I don't. It doesn't matter when it pops up. They deal with it. I may have 2-3 things going on at one time. You got to remember, it just ain't for me. It's for my clients as well, right? So depending on what's going on, I may put them on it. I don't. So I can ask them. You know what I mean? I know we did all right. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that this?
I know we wasn't 5 figures. I know we was 6 figures.
Is this, like, I feel like some people are going to try to create a narrative. Wack is suing to hide the truth about him being a cooperator and an informant.
Brother.
Yeah,
why would you sue if it wasn't true?
That's
what they're going to.
Hey, that's what they're going to say because that's the most reasonable. See, you don't clear your name as being a rat in court. You bring your paperwork to the center, to the turf. Oh, this shit right here was a bamboozle. For all you goofies that's slow, he ran circles around you niggas. Y'all forgot that part of the game? We're talking about some paperwork that's filed that my settlement part of the thing was a confidential agreement on how much we settled for. You know what I'm saying? I can't disclose. I'm quite sure out of fat mouth and told somebody, but publicly, because they could renege and say that I breached the agreement. Then I probably owe them, what they paid me. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be right back at it, which would be cool because I go to trial for that on that Hit Your Bremen. I probably get even more. But in any event, CS2 back is going to have a confidential agreement for settlement with Worldstarhiphop for some crumbs 9 times out of 10. And he's going to spin y'all that this proves he's not CS2 back, right? And y'all will never be able to do it. Why he ain't showed us the documents of this settlement agreement? He got it because his motions filed to dismiss the complaint filed by Cash Jones lawyers. Let's go.
That's why you sue. If it's true, they're going to rule against you.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? See, if somebody says something about you, right, and you know it's true, and you go sue them, they're going to be like, okay, put it all on the table. Now everything comes out. So when you go sue somebody, especially when you're dealing with a company like that, they had a pretty big law firm over there.
Yeah.
I got a pretty big law firm as well.
Well, Worldstar is owned by this giant company that owns a bunch of other businesses. Basically,
What
like,
that tell you?
they have large,
What
deep
that
pockets.
tell? You get what I'm
They're
saying?
worth suing.
Okay, listen. So, and you know when you're dealing with companies like that, they'll string you out and stretch you out,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
they got a chance at winning because they feel they're right, and Worldstar
Hey,
defense,
what up, Lil Evil?
right?
Salute.
They trusted this dude.
Salute to
A
Lil
lot of
Evil.
people trust
You on
Big
his
U.
head.
Listen,
This
bro.
nigga head is
I
always
know
justice for the
Eugene. I
culture.
know Big U.
Salute 2 and
His
1, Lil
name
Evil.
overshadows his intelligence and expertise in anything. I know him. I've had to deal with all these dudes call themselves defending him, don't know him.
Salute.
They may know him as their homie from their neighborhood. I know the guy that would call me and say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? If you can call me 50 times, Wack, how do you change the tire? I can by right say, yo, Adam don't know how to change the tire. So I know what he's good at and what he's not good at, right? What he's good at is he's in positions so people will call it. And then he knows, okay, I know Wack got these people, S-Mac got them people, this dude got these people. So then he'll call everybody and say, hey, I got this dude on the phone, want to do this. Once he gets us on the phone, he goes on mute. He don't talk no more. He let you do all the business, and then he'll simply come in and get his cut. Right? That's what he doesn't know. If you was to ask him about the music business and how it works and the breakdown of it, he couldn't tell you.
That's interesting because, like, think about being the company that owns Worldstar and one random
Mark
employee
Ramos, salute for the $2
makes a
super
bad
sticker.
decision. Think about how
That's
many
all it
random
was.
clips they post every day of some girl twerking on some guy and she shits her pants or whatever.
Dude.
But there's probably just like almost no oversight.
They trusted it, dude. No, I mean,
It's probably a guy posting from his phone.
Let me tell you something, bro.
Did you hear the way they got at Worldstarhiphop? There's probably just no oversight. They got somebody posting it from their phone. A multi-million-dollar company doing 500 million views a month. And that's 6 billion views a year. And they just got somebody posting these videos from their phone. Get the fuck out of here. This Mountaineer is insulting our motherfucking intelligence. Let's go,
I
man.
helped Worldstar get on.
What
Me
year?
and Kevin Black
Back in the day? Or?
got them their first 2-3 million followers.
Oh, on the gram. Okay.
And guess what? I sued them back then too.
For what?
Because the company that me and Kevin Black used, you don't remember when Kevin Black was named vice president of Worldstarhiphop? You can Google it.
This is before or after Q died?
No, this is Q. This is when Q started
okay.
it. Q started it. Kevin Black had an office down here in Culver City.
Where's the proof about this? Why we never heard about Wack suing Worldstar before? Let's go.
He names Kevin Black VP of Worldstar, right? Me and Kevin Black run the play. We got the dude that drives traffic back then. We contracted, right? Boom, dude drove the traffic. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million.
Man, he didn't get no money like that. Looks good to me. Salute.
When it comes
$3
time
super
for him to
sticker.
cut the check,
He got
they
some crumbs.
fired Kevin Black. But yet Kevin Black, as an employee of Worldstar, contracted this gentleman who was upstairs in Kevin Black's same office. So when they didn't pay the bill, they came back to me. And I put the same legal team that was on this is the same legal team that went and claimed that. It was, you know, it was a high 6 figures. That's a fact.
Right,
They
Mark.
paid him. So, you know, I've been dealing with Worldstar forever.
The weird thing about suing somebody for saying that you're a federal informant is that by definition, a federal informant is supposed to be secretive, right? Like how could you really definitively prove that that's not the
I'm
case?
gonna be real. I don't really know how federal informants work, but inform. How they structure what they do, I can't tell you. But I will tell you this. I believe, this is my belief, I don't know, that if somebody was to sue a company, right, and
Yep, it's called a home equity agreement, and I got
Ain't that like button? Let's
143,000.
go.
he was really an informant, right?
Right.
This is my belief, I don't know. I think maybe something would go down behind the scenes because you kind of like, you manipulating. You get what I'm saying? Okay, you an informant, but you can't do that because we can't allow this person to be sued by you because of this. Maybe your coverage is blown and maybe they're gonna have a conversation and the lawsuit goes away. I can't see the federal government allowing a company or entity to be booked when they're in the right.
Right, because then you'd have a foolproof way to expose everybody who was working as an informant. All you have to do is sue them and do discovery to get.
You gotta remember, they didn't sue me, I sued them.
Yeah.
For defamation.
Yeah.
See, when you come with defamation and slander, ain't none of that. See, if you was an informant,
Ain't none of that.
and you did that, I would assume that whoever you working for gonna say, that's on your dumb ass.
No.
You sued them, so now they got the right to dig in and expose.
Right.
That's on your dumb ass, right? But if you're not that, and again, I don't sue street niggas. I can show you on my phone, they wanted to name Big U. I could have hit him too. Baby, what I tell him? No, take his name out. I'm dealing with the entity. I got to deal with a street nigga in the street. But if you that, and you a platform, I'm gonna come get you all day long.
Yeah.
Listen, if a situation pops up, what do? I just send the information to the legal.
Right,
You ever heard them call me about a bill? I don't have. I got my legal team from a very special person. Joseph Isgrove.
Who's that?
Googling. Very, very important person.
Okay.
Very, very strong person. Don't look like me. Very respected Italian guy.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? My entertainment team came from there. My music team, my radio team, Suge Knight, that was the secret to my success, was Joseph Isgrove. He gave me his independent radio team. I was the only dude running around here that can get music and songs in rotation on the radio like the majors. You want to know what was Wack niche? How did he get on? What was it so special about Wack that made people want to deal with him? It was that.
There we go. Do we want to talk about what we did last night? We had a little adventure last night.
Yeah, I mean, for real. We went to Inglewood.
Yeah.
Went to the Wood.
The Wood, which is the name of a very nice restaurant.
On Market Street, right there, 129 North Market Street. If you in Inglewood, you flying in or you flying out, you want to make yourself some time, stop in. Food is amazing, all of it. The whole list was amazing, but I use that as my our rendezvous spot. A guy I met on Clubhouse owns the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, what's Jonathan?
Part-time restaurant entrepreneur, part-time Clubhouse fan.
He owns the restaurant. He also opening up a cigar lounge across the street from the Intuit Dome. They're building that out, but
I wonder how the cigar lounge business is.
I don't know. I know it's real big. I know I took a meeting down there. They got their own lockers.
Yeah.
They charge them every month for their lockers. You know, it's
a cigar locker.
Well, they keep from what I saw, when I had a meeting with these people, they were some Middle Eastern people. When they opened the locker, they had their cigars, rare liquor in there, and they would bring the stuff to their table and cool. Then the lounge had its own bar.
Right.
And the cigar, they got another one in off of Santa Monica, Little Santa Monica and Bedford, I think, right there, that a lot of industry people go to. So it's somebody else is opening up a damn cigar lounge who just high in Miami. He's opening another one up. So I guess there's some money into it.
EP, what up,
Nothing
homegirl?
sounds
Puerto
less
Rican guy,
pleasant than
salute,
sitting
what up?
around drinking alcohol and smoking cigars. For
But
me personally,
but to the cigar smokers,
they're out there. Yeah.
that's like a person that likes to watch horse racing.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't either, but shit, you go over there, they sitting there with their paper and they little whatever they doing, and they placing their bets. But
I used to go to the horse racing track when I was a kid too, because my uncle worked there, and even as a little kid, I was like, why would anyone want to watch this?
Yeah,
Besides gambling, then it makes sense.
It's gambling.
It's like a remnant from an era where they had so much less to gamble on. And gambling was, I'm going to drive a fucking hour out of my way to this horse track so that I can gamble. Now you bust down a 10-piece parlay on your phone before the football game. And
yeah, so I think I hit you today.
Oh, you didn't know? We got content. Keep that notification bell turned on. We'll deliver 24/7 around the clock. You already know it. To everybody out there working hard on the grind, if you believe it, you'll achieve it. Do what you got to do today to be prepared for tomorrow. And there we go. But until next time, it's your boy Ray giving them gone. God bless. Peace.
Well, we're going to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And pardon me for smacking. I'm going to do some reading for y'all. It's just a matter of time, huh? Yeah, make it make sense. Hey, Papa Trail, you 100% right, bro. 100% right. But look, we're going to go to ChatGPT real quick. Right? So, let me get to some of this, right? Oh, I sent ChatGPT to work on CS2 back. So, let's start here. Right? So, boom, I made the live. They sent me all of this stuff they was able to find on the thing, but they was having a problem finding Detective Michael Couette. It's getting kind of kind of hot. Let me take this shit off. Ladies, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Pardon the interruption, you know what I'm saying? So, it says that Cash Jones and Stutterbox were mentioned in the murder rap book. And then I said Paul Fournier was the lead investigator. Michael Couette was his partner. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. Public reporting on this case consistently names Detective Paul Fournier as the lead LA Sheriff's detective investigator. LA Sheriff's Department investigator. So the lead investigator for that case was not Detective Greg Caden. Do y'all remember that lie when Wack100 brought Greg Caden and Reggie Wright to Clubhouse? Let me take y'all back, man. This is the type of lie and bullshit that they get Let's get to this. Remember he said that.
I'm probably saying this shit wrong. We got Reggie Wright, top right. Reggie Wright contacted Greg Kadings. Greg Kadings was the lead investigator. I'm probably saying this shit wrong. He'll tell you more on that case. To where, well, fuck it, Greg. Tell him who you are.
That's funny. So yeah, I was a cop in LA. I ended up working on
Why Greg Kading didn't correct him?
Murder investigation.
So he says Greg Kading is the lead investigator for that case, which was a lie. ChatGPT just told you that, right? We're going to go back to ChatGPT. That's one of the first lies. Detective Paul Fournier as the lead LA Sheriff's Department investigator, but his partner isn't identified by name in major outlets I can access. I still can't find any mainstream public article that mentions Michael Couette in connection with this investigation. So it's very possible he's only named in internal reports, court transcripts, or the documentary itself rather than in press coverage. Here's the most relevant public media links and outlets about the investigation Fournier led. LA Times, June 15, 2011. The foundational report laying out the alleged pink dot kidnapping of Stutterbox, Robert Ross, the Main Street Crips defendants, the claimed sex tape extortion motive, and identifying Detective Paul Fournier as the lead investigator, noting he declined. So not only is ChatGPT confirming this, the LA Times article in June of 2011 clarifies Greg Kading is not the lead investigator in this investigation. It was Detective Paul Fournier and his partner, Detective Michael Couette. Now, they were on a joint task force with Detective Greg Kading, but they were the lead investigators. Los Angeles Times, June 16th, the expanded follow-up with more detail from the preliminary hearing and sheriff's investigative report. Again, credits Fournier as the lead, right? Police Magazine, June 15th, 2011, law enforcement recap. Short, straightforward recap of the LA Sheriff's Department narrative. Pink dot pickup, Liddell Ross, alleged demands for the tape, and charges against the 7 Main Street Crips. TMZ recap. Tabloid style but widely circulated summary that mirrors the sheriff's report and details. Pink dot Ross house alleged robbery and assault. Courthouse News covers Ross's civil allegations against Shaq and Mark Stevens and summarizes the alleged kidnapping storyline tied to the LA Sheriff's Department case. CBS reports the criminal case against the 7 defendants was dropped, citing the witness credibility problems, while noting Shaq and Stevens were not charged. LA Times' own write-up of the dismissal, giving the prosecutor and judge reasoning and the fallout for the investigation. Miami News Time, a longer form piece that references the kidnapping case as part of a wider narrative around Shaq, Ross, and associates, and notes the dismissal. And then you got the Ninth Circuit Court record, appellate decision summarizing Ross versus O'Neal civil claims and why the suit was dismissed. It was a statute of limitation. When Stutterbox went to jail, when he came back out, he didn't have enough time to file the lawsuit. So statutes of limitations passed. Public outlets I found don't name Fournier's partner. So your documentary specific attribution to Michael Couette may be correct, but just not reflected in the press, right? So I say what public media says about this investigation. So it goes into Robert Ross alleged Shaq sex tape and extortion, the Pink Dot kidnapping case do name Detective Paul Fournier as the lead investigator, but they do not name his partner in their reporting. So I can't point you to an article quoting Couette about this specific case, even though he may have been Fournier's partner. Okay, then what they found on Detective Michael Couette with the correct spelling. Even with the correct spelling, I did not find major outlet tying Couette by name to this Shaq Ross kidnapping investigation. However, public records and news do show Michael Couette is and was a LA Sheriff's Department detective in other homicide investigations, publicly quoted and listed as a contact by LA Times homicide report. He also appears in LA Sheriff's Department public communications listings as a detective. So I sent them the paperwork. Here's the documents from the discovery. Perfect. Those discovery pages confirmed why ChatGPT didn't tell me that the discovery was fake. Perfect. Those discovery pages confirmed that Detectives Paul Fournier and Michael Couette of the LA County Sheriff's Department Major Crimes Bureau and the Homicide Bureau formally took over the Robert Ross kidnapping robbery investigation on July 16, 2008. And they personally interviewed Robert Ross. That's a solid primary source verification of Couette's involvement, something the Main Street press never printed by name. Here's how it ties together for public context and sourcing. Verified in the discovery. Your uploaded pages dated January 12, 2009, case number 008-27075, 1134/011 explicitly say, on July 16, 2008, investigators Fournier and Couette spoke with Detective Quintero. They were assigned to a task force with the LAPD. After reviewing the case, investigators Fournier and Couette interviewed victim Robert Ross at the LA Sheriff's Department Homicide Bureau. So from the internal record, Couette was indeed Fournier's investigative partner. Public media that describes the same case. Even though the outlets omit Couette's name, the following stories discuss the same investigation led by Fournier and the match the events described in your documents. Detective Paul Fournier of the Sheriff's Department is heading the investigation into alleged kidnapping of Robert Ross. All of this is verified with the documents. These documents are the same documents Wack100 claiming are fake. I went and researched all of this and I made up fake paperwork. I guess that's his position. Follows up on the preliminary hearing, still citing Fournier as the lead. Reports that prosecutors later dropped the charges attributes the case's origins to the LA Sheriff's Department Major Crime Bureau investigation led by Fournier. Police Magazine, law enforcement summary of the same case, Main Street Crips, sex tape angle, Pink Dot kidnapping. The civil case write-up citing the kidnapping narrative and matching the same dates and suspects. Those are the only public traceable articles connecting directly to Fournier's investigation. None named Couette, but your discovery documents authenticate his partnership role internally. So, bam. So now I say they also interviewed Shaquille O'Neal, Mark Stevens, and admittedly Cash Jones. Wack said they went to the 60th floor on Wilshire, right? They said yes. And the pages you posted back that up, at least in terms of what Fournier Couette documented and who the investigation centered on. They interviewed Shaq. They interviewed Mark Stevens. And admittingly, Wack admitted that they interviewed him. So that's 4 people. We got Shaq's statement. We got Mark Stevens. We got Ray J's. We got DJ K Slade. So where the fuck is Wack100 statement at? That's what's being hidden. The report states that investigators Paul Fournier and Michael Couette took over the case via task force assignment and interviewed Robert Ross at LA Sheriff's Department Homicide Major Crime. In the Ross interview summary, Ross tells Fournier and Couette that Cash Jones delivered a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal saying Ross had a sex tape of O'Neal and that TMZ would pay for it. The report then notes the kidnapping robbery allegedly occurred about 2 weeks after that message. An investigator specifically questioned Ross about why Stevens and or O'Neal would have Liddell Rawls involved, showing they were actively investigating both men's roles, knowledge as part of that case narrative. So if the paperwork and the newspapers all confirm the authenticity of the paperwork that we're reading right now that lists Cash Jones' name, not just the wiretap. We're going to get to that shortly. But if it lists Cash Jones' name and it's being authenticated, all of these facts are the same facts being authenticated by news media from back then Cash delivering a message, an extortion or blackmail message about a sex tape would be extortion, attempted extortion, or attempted blackmail. And then the fact that 2 weeks after he delivered that message, Robert Ross ended up being a victim of kidnapping, robbery, and assault when kidnapped from the Pink Dot. You think that they weren't going to go investigate and question Cash Jones about what he said, what led up to it, his side of the story? When they talked to him. So even on these pages alone, it's clear Shaq and Mark Stevens were key investigative subjects. It's also clear that Cash Jones is directly tied, just based on fuck what Mark Stevens said, just based on Stutterbox telling on him about the extortion message, bro. Cash Jones is directly tied, per Robert Ross's statement, to the alleged extortion message, bro. He had extortion tape that he was trying to get money out of Mark Stevens and Shaq for, and he told the police that he sent Wack to go give that message to Shaq and Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens confirmed Stutterbox wasn't lying about that. That Wack100 did bring that message and said TMZ would pay a lot for that video. So, according to LA Sheriff Department discovery reports, detectives Paul Fournier and Michael Couette interviewed victim Robert Ross. Ross stated that Cash Jones delivered an extortion message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal about an alleged sex tape. The detectives' report shows they pursued interviews and investigative leads involving O'Neal's, Stevens, and Jones as part of this case. So how the fuck do you think Wack100 can go publicly and say, I'm not from Main Street, I ain't had nothing to do with that case, but on the other hand said, I was a victim. Stutterbox told on me. Yeah, he told them that he sent you with the message to Mark Stevens and Shaq. The extortion message, nigga. So if he indeed told on you about this attempted extortion, attempted blackmail, how the fuck you not in jail, nigga? That keeps everything anchored to what the discovery actually says without accidentally presenting Ross's claims as settled fact. So then I say, on the transcribed wiretap I sent you, do you see it referring to CS2 back being talked about, calling MS? This CS2 back person called Mark Stevens multiple times, asking to speak to Del Dog, DD, or Liddell Rawls. This person calling, trying to talk to Mark Stevens, is also referred to as the Wack Boy. Do you have this transcribed wiretap? Yep. I'm looking at the wiretap page you sent. Move. The wiretap page you sent, the one label session 18202, dated August 5th, 2008, 7 minutes long. Here's what's on that transcript page in plain English. It does refer to CS2 back contacting Mark Stevens, MS. The header and summary at the top says that Dell tells Stevens that CS2 back wants Dell's phone number and that back needs to talk to Dell. It's important. So yes, back is being discussed specifically as calling and trying to reach Mark Stevens to get Dell to Dell. It indicates back hits Mark Stevens multiple times. In the dialogue, Mark Stevens says back hit me about 3 times, wanting Stevens to give Dell's number. That matches your point that back called repeatedly asking to speak to Dell. The transcript also uses Wack Boy language. Later in the same conversation, Mark Stevens says something like he hasn't been helping the Wack Boy and references the person calling out of the blue and leaving messages. The page doesn't explicitly define who Wack Boy is, but it's said in the same breath as talking about back calling in the box situation. So your read that the caller is being framed as Wack Boy is consistent with what is written here. Important nuance. On this single page is still a nickname reference, not a formally identified person, right? But we got a good understanding of what's going on. I broke down a good understanding of what's being said in this transcribed wiretap on this wiretap, right? Do I have the full wiretap? I only have this one session page you uploaded, session 18202. I don't have the rest of the Title III packet or other sessions unless you shared it. If you got more pages, other session numbers, continuation pages or logs, drop them in and I'll do it. I said, can you describe the other information describing more about CS2 back, providing historical, reliable information on the Main Street Mafia Crips? Yes, from the discovery pages you uploaded, the CS2 reliability section around page 53 and 54, the CS2 back info is basically summarized like this. CS2 back has been a reliable historical source on the Main Street Mafia Crips. The report explicitly says CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. This is the core credibility statement about him. But his knowledge is limited to certain aspects. The detectives note CS2 is only aware of some parts of the organization's criminal activity and drug network, meaning he's not a full-scope insider. He's not an insider, meaning he's more than likely not from Main Street Crip, or he would be privileged to such information. He does not know the higher level narcotics pipeline. The memo says CS2 has no knowledge of how narcotics are transported into LA or distributed broadly to mainstream Crip members. He can't provide detailed flow. Instead, it can only identify a limited number of members. The report says CS2 is only able to ID a limited number of mainstream Mafia Crip gang members, not the full roster or leadership structure, because he's an outsider looking in. He can't give specifics on extortion operations. Detectives write that CS2 is unable to provide specific info on mainstream Mafia Crip extortion methods, collection process, or distribution of extortion proceeds. He's scared to testify due to retaliation risk. On the next page, the document explains CS2 is unwilling to testify in court because he fears retaliation, and even says if mainstream Mafia Crip learned he was cooperating, they would likely orchestrate his execution and or harm his family. That's why his cooperation is treated as highly sensitive. So in short, CS2 Back is labeled a historically reliable informant about the mainstream Mafia Crips, but he's not a big picture source on the organization's drug pipeline or finances, and he's considered too endangered to testify. So I said, that would make CS2 Back a 137 confidential informant. What if I told you that when interviewing Mark Stevens, he said that was Wack100 calling him on the wiretap? He said he doesn't know no one named Back. He states his lawyers confirmed to him that Wack100 Cash Jones, confirmed to him that was Wack100 Cash Jones. Then the founder of the Federal Joint Task Force, LAPD Detective Greg Koenig, admitted in an interview that Mark Stevens and Del Dog obviously were talking about Wack100. Is it defamatory to conclude from all of this evidence that Wack100 is CS2 Back? They said you're asking a smart risk of defamation question. So I'll answer in general California U.S. terms, not your lawyer. First, what could be defamatory here? What could be defamatory here? Saying Wack100 is CS2 Back, a confidential informant, is a statement that a reasonable viewer could take as a verifiable fact about a real person. If false, that can be defamatory. California requires a plaintiff to show a published statement of fact, falsity, lack of privilege, reputational harm, and at least negligence. Public figures must prove actual malice. Being labeled an informant can be reputationally damaging and could be treated as defamation per se if it implies serious misconduct and criminal involvement. Wack100 is almost certainly a public figure. Given his media presence, he likely be treated as a public figure or limited purpose public figure. That means to win a defamation case, he'd have to prove actual malice. You knew it was false or were reckless about whether it was true. So he would have to prove that I did it with malice, that I knew it was false. Nigga, we know you CS2 Back. So how the fuck is going to be defamation? That's a high bar, but it's not impossible. Opinion versus fact. The biggest lever under U.S. California law, pure opinion is protected. But an opinion that implies undisclosed false facts can still be actionable. So the safer framing is not he is CS2 Back, but based on X, Y, and Z, it appears, I believe, I infer he may be, and then you show X, Y, Z on the screen. When the audience sees the underlying facts, your takeaway looks like commentary, inference, not a secret factual assertion. Truth. Substantial truth is a complete defense. If he actually is CS2 Back, defamation fails. California recognizes truth, substantial truth, as an absolute defense. But in the real world, you don't want to be the one proving truth after getting sued. So how you present it matters even if you're right. Let me wet my whistle real quick. Bang that like button. California gives an absolute privilege to make a fair and true report of official proceedings or court records. If your wiretap transcript and discovery pages were filed in court, part of a public official proceeding, then accurately summarizing them is strongly protected. I'm protected, nigga. The wiretap and the court documents are protected as facts. But if the materials are not public, still discovery, leaked wiretap, confidential task force docs, the fair report privilege may not apply, and your protection shifts back to opinion plus lack of actual malice. Applying that to your evidence, wiretap uses back, CS2 back, plus the whack boy language, and discusses repeated calls to Mark Stevens to reach Deldall. Mark Stevens allegedly tell investigators that the caller was Wack100, and he doesn't know anyone named Back. Greg Caden allegedly says the conversation was obviously about Wack100. Is it automatically defamatory to conclude Wack100 is CS2 Back? Not automatically. It becomes risky when you present the conclusion as settled fact rather than disclosed fact-based inference. The courts basically ask, did you assert a fact or an opinion? It's a fact equals riskier. I assert a fact. How about that? Back. You know what I'm saying? Fucking opinion. I assert a fact. Wack100 is CS2 Back. Did you disclose the basis? Disclosure makes it look like protected commentary. Were you reckless about falsity? Actual malice standard for public figures. And were you fairly reporting public records? If yes, then you're privileged. How to say it in the safest, strong-willed way. And then they tell you how to say it to protect yourself from lawsuits and all of that. So I wanted y'all to get a update and an understanding of what I initially exposed when I brought the wiretap and the paperwork exposing Wack100 as CS2 Back, right? So now I want to go to the Wack100 misleading, and then we're going to end this. Wack100 falsely claims he beat Worldstarhiphop's civil suit. I'm not CS2 Back. Here's what the public record shows. Let me blow this up for y'all. Here's what the public record shows on the Wack100 versus Worldstarhiphop MediaLab AI civil defamation case, and why I beat the whole lawsuit is not accurate based on anything verified so far, right? What happened? February 27th, Worldstarhiphop's YouTube channel posts a snitch informant documentary about Wack100. Early February 2024, Worldstar pulls the documentary after Wack starts a defamation action. July 8, 2024, Wack, Cash Jones, files a defamation lawsuit in LA Superior Court. August 30th, 2024, MediaLab, Worldstar's parent company, answers the complaint. February 24th, 2025, the judge denies MediaLab special motion to strike the anti-SLAPP laws, right? What that February 24, 2025 ruling actually means. MediaLab tried to get the case thrown out early using California's anti-SLAPP law and argued they were protected under Sections 230, platform immunity. The judge said no, mainly because the documentary wasn't shown at this stage to be about a public interest issue that anti-SLAPP protects, and because immunity wasn't clearly established on the record. So they didn't even say that it wasn't an anti-SLAPP law, the judge denied it because Worldstar's MediaLab's attorney were ineffective in that they didn't establish that Wack100, this was a public interest issue, which was a failure on their behalf. MediaLab should fire their ass, right? And if, because had they did that, then they would be protected by anti-SLAPP. But all they had to do was prove he was a public figure. That's one of the main things that would have did that, and they wouldn't have got the anti-slap motion denied. And because immunity wasn't clearly established on the record, so they didn't establish immunity. These are technicalities that the judge is ruling in favor of Wack100. So the defamation claim survives and continues. The motion was denied in its entirety. Bottom line, Wack100 didn't beat the civil suit. He won a round. He beat Worldstar MediaLab's attempt to dismiss his lawsuit. That's a procedural win, not a final victory. The case wasn't dismissed, and no final judgment for either side is shown in reliable public reporting. About the CS2 confidential source thing, the documentary's core claims were that he was a confidential source, CS2, tied to alleged wiretap and informant accusations. Those exact statements are what his defamation suits target. So that's what he's supposed to win on. If that's what the lawsuit was about, that would be a win if they said he's not CS2 and your Worldstar, you guys are guilty of defamation. That's not what happened. If you're calling out the false win claim, a clean way to say it is that he didn't beat the lawsuit. The judge only denied Worldstar's anti-slap dismissal motion on February 24th, 2025. So the case is still active. It's not the same as winning the whole civil suit. So I said, but there is an updated docket filing claiming a settlement. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And a notice of settlement of entire case on the docket is a real thing. But it also doesn't mean the case is officially won in the way that people spin it online. Listen to this, bro. This is what we here for today. Bang that like button. Let's get into the good people. You know what I'm saying? Fan West TV, salute. Let me get this down to the good people. Fan West, if you want to come up, because I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. So they said that people, Wack never mentions how being an informant is also how you can get an interest in justice. He brings up all the other reasons, but he never mentions that. And he, as one of the stipulations on Clubhouse, I was in the room. Thank you, the lovely Leo. I didn't even know you was in there. I don't know how I missed you. Remember, even Greg Caden said that their CS1 can be hidden from even a judge. CS2 back knows that suing won't even expose that. So who is his bozo ass fooling? Yep, one of his handlers, Maisha Jackson, is on him, right? Papa, good point. Greg was laughing because Greg knows exactly who he is. Every time this rat ends his story by saying right, you know he just told a lie. Not in your AI. Lies. Come on, man, it's false. Wait, what you talking about? Tommy Hairline? What's false? The only one we locked up was Cash Jones. Right. Tommy Hairline, what was false? Wack also said he got that badge after his daughter graduation when Adam asked him, but after y'all brung it back up, and he responded, he said he had it for 6-7 years, but Wack daughter is still in college. Papa Trail 5678 ain't playing no games. He on that nigga head. Greg Caden want to be famous for Keefe D to CS2 back. It's obvious. We ain't heard from Dupree yet. Yeah, Dupree don't say much. Hey, G-Mac Beast trying to run it with you in Barstow at the Walmart. Man, that sound like Beast. Beast to Teef Seeley. Wack won that case. Look at this dummy. Look at him. Tommy Hairline, 1805. He talking about Keith McCulley, 5'4", salute, Blue Heart, Red Heart. Listen to this dummy. He said Wack won that case. Let's see what they say. Southern Force, salute, bro. So you see what this dude just said, Tommy Hairline?
Salute.
So watch this. This how dumb he is, right? He fought Okie though. He gotta be 100 EBT. So it says, yeah, I get what you're saying. And the notice of settlement of entire case on the docket is a real thing. So yeah, there is a notice of settlement of the entire case on the docket. But it also doesn't mean the case is officially won in the way that people spin it online. So people is online spinning that Wack won, right? So here's how to read that filing without getting finessed like this dummy, right? This is what ChatGPT is telling you. What the notice of settlement actually means if the docket shows a CM-200 notice of settlement of entire case, that means the parties told the court we've settled or conditionally settled and are ending this case. It's not the same as a judgment saying Wack won, or a court order dismissing the lawsuit, or proof the settlement terms were fulfilled. Remember, his settlement terms was supposed to be a public announcement on Worldstar that he's not CS2 back. Remember, a public apology. So it's basically we struck a deal. Paperwork to close the case is coming. So the paperwork to close the case is coming. It ain't even been filed with the court yet, bro. He talking about he just got this humongous bag, 6 figures, and the paperwork is coming. It ain't even in the court yet. Once a notice of settlement is filed, the plaintiff has 45 days to file a request for dismissal. Well, lawyers already filed a request for dismissal. If they don't, the court can dismiss it anyway after that window. So settlement notice is a strong indicator a deal was reached, but the case isn't over until dismissal is entered. Why the internet claim could still be misleading, like hairline? Right now, the only publicly viewable sources saying notice of settlement filed are secondary social posts like the reel that lists the CM200 entry. So they saying that whatever this Instagram.com said that this is the spin. This is the only one that they can find. Let's see what this is. Let's see where this takes us. Oh, wow. The 100 show. Wow.
Nasty work.
Telling us about the spin, and the link takes us to CS2. Oh, y'all can't see it, huh? Hold on.
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah, let me go back to Instagram to where it took me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, this is
hold on, let me take this off. So this is where the spin is coming from, man. You know what I'm saying? They saying this is the only verifiable, but there's a difference between settlement and win, and then you're settling, and that's going to be confidential. That way nobody can verify what you settled for, what you agreed to, but you want the world to believe you just proved you not CS2 back. This is how you don't get finessed. You know what I'm saying? This is how. I'll let you speak on it, man.
Oh man, this is nasty work, man. Like, why he keep on denying the fact that you're a confidential source, man? Of course you are. You did everything out of fear. Let's just be clear. You did everything out of fear, and motherfuckers seeing that shit. It's more and more YouTube channels is going up about this clown. I've been listening to it, man. Oh my god, it's like a whole army revealing his truth to CS2 back. Like, this is crazy. Like, why the fuck he still keep on denying this shit? And we done heard him spin this web of lies on Clubhouse, on replays, off replays, shit. Some may be in private rooms. But we done heard this shit. You know this shit. This is nasty work, man.
They talk about the fool Tommy says the proof is the settlement. Nah, nigga.
Man, they giving that nigga a little small piece of charitable donation. Here you go. Go pay your bills. That's it.
It might not even be enough to pay no bills for real. Drew V. It might not be that much, bro. I'm thinking maybe 5,000-10,000, bro.
Because I mean that would make business sense. Why would I, as a company, right, go and battle this small fry to nobody, right, and spend all these hundreds of thousands? Well, I can just pay you out by like 5-6K, send you on your motherfucking way. Because that's all the fuck you're gonna get. Because what's gonna happen next is you're gonna get exposed to not only they're gonna hit your ass for the countersuit, they're gonna turn around and make you pay for court costs and shit. They're gonna implement that into the countersuit.
Right.
You don't want to play with no type of business lawyers, man. These motherfuckers have stakeholders. You're not one of them.
No, you're 100% right about that, bro. And to them, it's, I forgot what they call it. I'm finna ask the homie because he got one of them. His lawyers, he had insurance and shit. It was a car accident, and his lawyers was like, "Listen, this is called something." Let me call the homie real quick. He probably could tell me. I'm gonna put him on speaker. I'm gonna make sure I tell him he on speaker though.
Sure.
I hope he ain't asleep already. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, you live right now, so don't say nothing. But I need you to tell me, what was that term that your lawyers said to you that they was giving the dude that hit your car that was in the wrong? A nuisance fee. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because anything could happen. Even if they in the right. Right. He had a bad toxicology report. The police wrote it up in my favor. So he went the civil route, and that was our fun. All right, man. Appreciate that, bro. Enjoy your evening. Drive safe. All right, one. So, for those who never been to court and don't understand what's going on, nuisance fee.
That's a fact. That's how he getting.
Take these crumbs. He talking about 6 figures. I guarantee you that. Matter of fact,
maybe 6K.
I'm gonna go through. Maybe 6K, right? I'm gonna. We gonna end the live now, right? Tomorrow morning, and throughout the day, I'm gonna be breaking down every filing in the Worldstar case, reading it and breaking it down little by little. Turn on your notifications. We're going to have that coming in the morning. Southern Force, salute to you, bro. Appreciate that. We finna go. Until tomorrow, hit that like button on your way out. Double Keyway.